Hello, beautiful Libra. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Libra, this is your monthly read for your monthly read for July. So we're going to see what's going on for you for the month of July. I'm going to get all the cards on the table, literally and figuratively. And we're going to go deeper and deeper into this energy. First card out is Round and Round, number 25. And at the end, there's going to be an extension. So if you're interested in that, you're so welcome there. Second card out. Libra for the month of July, please. Okay. Second card is Y. Very existential here. Round and Round and then Y. Number 31. And co-create. Number 40. Interesting. You're starting with the Round and Round. Why is this here for Libra, please? Maybe there's something with someone's hair. Did you just make your hair like very big and fluffy? Something's going on with someone's hair. Perspective and Knight of Ariel. So something's going round and round, Libra. Something's going round and round. Is there a route? Is there a routine? Is there something in your life that you just feel like it might not be like it's a never-ending story, but it's like you're coming back to give or take. It doesn't mean that it's bad. That's what I'm trying to say. But it might not be like overwhelmingly awesome either. So we might need a different perspective on this. Might need to change your perspective. And also Knight of Ariel, which is very much about someone coming in to help you. Someone coming in to lend you a hand. We're going to go deeper into each and every one of these. Why? Existential question. Why are you here? What's your purpose? What do you want, Libra? What do you want? Peace. And maybe that is it, because we have number 31. 31 as a number there. And the opposite of that, the mirror, is 13. So 3113. So very existential questions is probably leading to peace. Let's see if that is true. And then co-creative. Co-creative with the 40. Why is this here for Libra, please? Co-create. Co-create. First card out, divine guidance. Divine guidance with the co-create. That is your inner being. That is your angels. Let's see what that is about. Okay, we're starting with this Round and Round, and I'm going to read that out of the book. Number 25. 25. 15. 24. 25. Little sippity. Really warm. Okay, Round and Round, Libra. I love this. I want it. Okay, so see this like around your third eye. Do you see like there's some subtle information? So do you see that right there in the forehead? And it's like it's seeping out here. It's like a little line. Very subtle. But there is a line going out there into the ethers. So I just see this connection with your third eye. And there's like really subtle information. The information might be as strong as any information. But the way that the information is being delivered is very subtle. So if we don't pay attention, or if you don't listen to like what's going on in the ethers, or like what's going on with your surroundings, with your inner being, how they want to get your attention or how they want to give you information, you might actually miss it. So, essential meanings of this card is the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. Revisiting patterns from a new perspective. Okay. So the Oracle's message states, the appearance of this card is a reminder, excuse me, that although it may appear that you've gone backward, the truth is that you are standing at a higher level, looking down into your circumstances. You will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lesson learned. So it looks like we're revisiting something, but from a different perspective. Or something is happening in your life right now that you can have a completely different, you might not even like be the same. It's not like we revisit with the same person, same job, same situation, same experience. It might be something like completely altogether different. It might even be like someone else is going through the same thing that you went through, but you're now getting a chance to revisit that memory or revisit that situation, but from a bird's eye view, like from a different perspective. And can access the wisdom and lessons learned. So there's like probably a very satisfying way of looking at this now, because you're not like so oblivious anymore. You're not so in the dark anymore. Looking down on your circumstances, you will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lessons learned. It's really gorgeous. The relationship message states, are you wondering, how did I get here again? ? I'm sorry for laughing, but that's only because I've done that myself. And I probably even have said those words out loud. How am I here again? Like, how is this working out, you know? How did I get here again? Does something feel familiar right now in your dynamics with others? And obviously this can be with like a romantic partner, friends, a coworker, a boss. It's just familiar, like this situation, different faces, different places, but it's the same dynamic that's playing out. Does something feel familiar right now in your dynamics with others? Maybe a little too familiar. Don't be surprised that you've found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person who may not look similar, different faces, different places, who may not look similar, but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with his or her qualities. Your relationship is a mix of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You have been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot, a familiar place, but that's fine. As you get to do things again, only differently this time, you've learned something of great value since the last time around. How will you choose to behave now that you're aware? ? Remain curious and stay out of the blame game. That's a tough one. If you're sort of back in the same sort of situation and you want to give back and not in the best way, it is a little bit tough to get out of the blame game. Okay, and then prosperity message states, if you're in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that's already happened in the past in your work life. It is because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have in your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be a part of your journey to prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Question mark. Who sabotages you? Question mark. Who supports you? Question mark. This is very much why all over this. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them? What are the familiar signs and the responses to them? When you find yourself in a repeat of a pattern of the past, it's a good time to get a coach or mentor who can help you see what you can't on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from the old cycles and cease going round and round. So, we have the perspective card here. We have the perspective card. And so we need to change your perspective, or you have already gotten a change of perspective on the situation. So you know more, you know better, you have wisdom this time. We're coming in from a different angle. So like I said, it might not even be yours. It might be a situation that plays out in your near surrounding. Like you have friends who are now talking about the situations that you once were in, and because you have a different perspective now, you might be a great service to them, or not, because sometimes it feels like we really need that life experience in order to get it ourselves. And so that's why we go over so many times in the same cycle, so that we finally will learn, or finally will take something away from it that grows us. And then we also have Knight of Ariels, which is really beautiful, because this is a card of someone coming in to help you, someone coming in to support you. And so I see this as, if this is you hiring a mentor, or like going to see a therapist, or just have someone come in and see very objectively, almost like being a sounding board to you as you express what has happened in the past. You might be in need of a little bit of healing in this situation. And it's just good to take in some fresh eyes, or just some other eyes into the situation, where you're like completely, I just remember things from my past. Long story short, and I won't drag you into those lower vibrations, but I will just say, when you're at the lower vibrational stance, you don't really have access to really clever thoughts whatsoever. And sometimes to just have someone in your surroundings, just someone else that you trust, or someone that you usually like, just someone that you know really well, come in with their fresh eyes to set their point of view on the situation, really can help out a lot. I remember a few occasions in my past where I was like, why didn't I think of that? Like, what? It's so good that you're saying, and that wasn't even me asking for like, oh, can you come in with some fresh pair of eyes and looking on this situation? That was just, I understand it's not a coincidence, but that was just in my world, like, oh, that was just pure luck that person said, okay, so here I have a solution for you. Why don't you do this? And I was like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I have access to that? Because you don't have access to those thoughts in that moment. So it's really, really good for many reasons to have, it's not that you're dumb in any shape or form. It's just law of attraction is working that way. If you're in a set of vibration, that's also why it's so freaking hard to get to the next level. You think it's going better. You've left a certain person behind. You've left a certain job behind. You left a certain belief system behind. You're well on your way. You feel like you're good, like this is it. And you're meeting that new person. You're getting that new job. Like this is it. Like this feels so different. Different face, different place, different name. Only to discover a few months in, or even a few weeks, that I have done it again. This is the same situation again. And at some point, we sort of just have to start to look at ourselves. Like, it is not, like, how many situations can it be that it is... I had a reading the other day with a person, and you have no idea who this is, so I'm sure, like, I'm not going to name any names. You still wouldn't know who they are. So I had this reading with a person the other day, and she had encountered 3 situations with bad neighbors. 3 situations with bad neighbors. And the situation also increased every single time. So it was like, it was really bad neighbors at her first place, and then she moved to another place, and you know, the badness of the neighbors just kept increasing. It just kept getting worse and worse. Not only did she have really bad neighbors, but the situation around them just kept getting worse and worse. And at some point, and I understand how frustrating that is, you just, like, for the love of what is it that all these neighbors are drawn to me? Aren't there any good neighbors out there? Of course it is. But you're in this loop of the same vibration, and we need a complete shift of perspective here to get out of the loop. There is and to then eventually getting good neighbors. Your inner being is trying to talk to you. There's this subtle voice, a subtle voice is around you, and is, excuse me, is reaching out, like is trying to make contact with you, which moves me to why and peace. This is very existential. This is very, I'm sorry. So my throat is really getting going here. So maybe that's something with someone that they're practicing standing up for themselves, just really leading a way more authentic life. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that the really, profound questions here. Why? It is very, very clear now from this. Like, why does this keep happening? Why are you here in this situation again? If this is not why if you're not sort of, well, you're back in the situation, but if you really are paying attention and if you really are aware, you probably are there to make peace with it. You might not even be there because you haven't cleaned up that vibration and you're just keep repeating and keep attracting the same people over and over. This could literally be that you're just really finding out now. So you're starting to attract similar. It might look really scary at first glance, like, I've attracted this again. Well, there's nothing more successful or more like rewarding than when you get into a situation where you feel like you didn't have any power, you didn't have any voice, you didn't have any say in the question, in the situation. And here, this opportunity presents itself, and it looks like it's the same situation. You have a completely different perspective on the situation. You now have gained a voice, and from a very different perspective, you're speaking your truth. And that, sweet Libra, is going to cause a lot of peace in your life. We have 13 there, which is death leading to life. It's a big transformation for you. It's one thing to just sit at home and think, oh, I'm so much better now, or I'm like, I have a clear voice now, or I know today I know exactly what I would say that I didn't have like the courage to say back when. But if you're being put in this situation, I keep coming back to this Evan Almighty, but it is Evan Almighty because the first one was Bruce Almighty. So Evan Almighty was with Steve Carell. He sort of turned into Noah and was going to build Noah's Ark. But in that movie, Morgan Freeman plays God, and the wife of Evan Almighty, the wife, she's like, it's a scenario where God says, if you ask for more, let's say, if you ask for more patience, do you think that God gives you patience, or do you think that God gives you a situation where you get to practice your patience? And I was like, Evan Almighty, like, wow, that's so profound. And if you are now feeling more in your power, if you feel like you're getting your strength back, do you think that you're just going to walk around with that power, or just, well, I think I have power? Or do you think you will be put in a situation, you will create a situation where you get to showcase that power and you get to showcase that strength? So you're in a very existential place right now, it feels, where you're testing your limits. You're testing your fear. It's easy to feel all free and wonderful and beautiful and fluffy in your hair. I don't know what that was about. Fluff. As long as no one interferes with you. But then that first person comes in, and that's when you get to really like train or work on that feeling you have, and it played out really well. And it's like, oh my God, I got it. You know, it's very existential here. Also, we have co-create. So there's a lot of like just now starting to listen, starting to pay attention to your inner beings, to that higher power of yours, and starting to work together with spirit. And at this moment, you're being divinely guided. Like you're just on this path where these deep, profound questions is going to lead to a very strong connection with your inner being. And you have always been divinely guided, but you probably will start to feel more and more and more that you are. Okay, probably we'll go deeper into this, I feel. And then whatever else Spirit wants you to know is going to be in the extension. So if you feel like you want to come there, you're so welcome. There's 2 links to that. So read about them in the description box. Round and round down there. And see whatever fits you better. If not, thank you so much for watching, Libra. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.